when you're getting ready for something like a dangerous game animal, what's the process of preparation like going in with the big bore air guns?
Whether it's a big bore air gun, a handgun, or a 500 Jeffrey, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you're comfortable with your weapon and you're able to place an accurate shot, and I mean a highly accurate shot, because with dangerous game, I've been fortunate. I've harvested 22 Cape buffalo, and I have not had to have an extensive track on any of them. A well-placed bullet, a well-placed arrow, a well-placed air gun projectile will bring down any dangerous game animal. I'm still a little squishy on a rhino, and I'll never be doing that anyway, but the Cape buffalo has a different type of anatomy in that the rib cage, all of the ribs overlap, so there's not a gap. With an elephant, there's a pretty big gap, big ribs, but there's a gap. With a bison, which was truly the first dangerous animal that we harvested, bison's big and heavy, but breaking through their rib cage is not a trick. Cape buffalo, they have an armor-plated chest cavity, and you have to break the bone in order to be able to get the projectile in, which makes bow hunting kind of difficult. You have to be able to penetrate that and still be able to get into the heart lungs to do damage. But with the hammer, the Umarex hammer, this thing just blows it up. I mean, you're finding your bullet in the shoulder on the other side. I mean, as a zebra that I shot, which is a very heavy, tough animal, shot on the front shoulder, and the bullet is in the hind quarter. I mean, completely transversed the body cavity. And I haven't experimented with 200 grain bullets and heavier bullets, because what I've got right now is a winning combination. And I'll tell you this, because we have probably a different audience than if we were doing television. But probably the biggest proof for me was in Namibia, and I have friends there, and they have an 80,000 acre combination photo and hunting operation. And they have at the time, a pride of lions. I think there's 17. It's gotten bigger, but they'd rescued a pride of lions from a rancher that was going to kill him because he was killing his cattle, and they brought in a vet, helicopter, and darted all the lions and brought them in. And these lions are within a 5,000 acre enclosure, but they have to eat. So they kill one giraffe every week. And they have 1,200 giraffe on their place. So still taking out 52 a year, the population is still growing.
Yeah, they people need to understand, they do reproduce.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. And they don't make noise, and they have pretty eyelashes, but they're still animals that are in the food chain. Right. And a giraffe will feed a pride of lions for a week. So my friend asked if I wanted to go out because we're going to shoot a giraffe. He said, "You want to try the hammer?" And I said, honestly, I don't know if it'll do it, because a giraffe is very much like a dangerous game animal, because it's 3,500 pounds and its skin is over 2 inches thick. I mean, giraffe skin is heavy. So you have to penetrate this thick, wet blanket and then break through heavy bones to get to a heart and lung, which is very far forward. So your shot has to be exactly right. And keep in mind, Jason, everything that I'm shooting now, everything dangerous that I'm shooting, I insist that I'm within 50 yards, because one, a dangerous game hunt outside of 50 yards isn't really a dangerous game hunt. You're just shooting stuff. But there's an efficacy problem because I'm going 946 feet per second with a rock, and it's not going to fly flat. It's going to start dropping off very quickly. And so what kind of terminal energy am I going to have at 100 yards? I don't know, because I haven't had enough time to work with the gun. But we're going to try this giraffe, and there's a 375 sitting right there that the PH has. And if the shot doesn't work, then he'll just finish it. So we drive up, and this is one of those times where we're collecting meat. We weren't hunting. And you can't stalk up on a giraffe very easily because they'll take you coming in with a vehicle, but you get out and they're gone. So we're in the cruiser. We get to 70 yards, and that's as close as we're going to get, which is 20 yards, probably 30 yards further than I want to shoot something like this. And he stands and stands and stands, and I'm trained on him because he's standing like this, and he finally takes a step. And when he takes a step and opens this up, I have the right angle, and I shoot. And he, like nothing happened, he continues to walk. And he walks about probably 30 meters, and he stops and turns and back and looks at us. And this went on, this stare down went for 30 seconds. And he didn't move, and I'm thinking, I'm going to have to get the big gun out. And then I noticed just the slightest leg tremor, just the slightest. I thought, something's up here. And he starts to walk, and now he's paralleling us. He's not walking away. And then he does that little, stumble, and then the next leg stumbles, and, now this is going well, and he goes down. And we're just, man, I can't believe it happened. And then it gets up again. But it is really, giraffe's brain is way, way up there, and low blood pressure. It's really hard for them to function. And all four legs are splayed out, and it's, trying to stay up. And finally, it just flings itself backwards. And honestly, I don't know if the bullet from the hammer actually killed it, or the impact with its head hitting the ground killed it. But this 3,500-pound giraffe went down with one shot from an air rifle at 70 yards. And that's it. I mean, this isn't something we're going to put on television because you know what would happen. But we fed a bunch of lions with this thing that was going to get killed, and we did a field test, and the hammer passed with flying colors.